So hello guys, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, your girl Barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. The coroner's inquest to unravel the mysteries surrounding the death of MOHBAD has begun, and a lot more information has now been spilled. The inquest held in a court in the Ikorodu area of Lagos State, and it was presided over by Coroner Magistrate Adedayo Shotobi. It was attended by the late singer's wife, WUNMI, who had their son in her company. It was also attended by MOHBAD's mother, his father, his stepmother, and his personal DJ, Ayobami Spending. MOHBAD's mother arrived with his wife and their child, while MOHBAD's father arrived with his own wife, MOHBAD's stepmother. Now, before I update you on that event and the many revelations that came to light, let me first educate us on what a coroner's inquest is, because I cannot assume that we all know. A coroner is a public officer. In Nigeria, they are usually magistrates of a court, and they are charged with the responsibility of determining the cause and circumstances surrounding an unusual, unexpected, and unexplained death. So now that we know who a coroner is, what then is a coroner's inquest? A coroner's inquest is a judicial inquiry, an inquiry set up to investigate certain kinds of deaths which are sudden, unnatural, violent, or suspected of foul play. That inquiry is to establish and bring to light the true facts, the truth about the circumstances surrounding that death. Don't get me wrong, a coroner's inquest may be similar in many respects to a trial, but they are different in many degrees. A coroner's inquest is not a court trial, because I have seen all sorts being spilled by several vlogs and channels that the case has gone to court, the court has started hearing the case. No, this is not a court proceeding per se. The matter has not been charged to court. Nobody has been taken to court. That is why I always encourage you to rely on genuine and authentic platforms for your information. So if you haven't subscribed here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, turn on your bell notifications, and stay glued on this channel, because here you're going to get all the news authentically and factually. So now let's proceed. So in this coroner's inquest, no one has been charged to court yet. No one is going to get any jail sentence. No one is standing trial. No one can be fined or imprisoned. It is not a court case per se. It is an inquisitorial sitting, and the magistrate does not act in full capacity as a magistrate, but acts in quasi-judicial capacity. That magistrate's function is just to investigate, establish the cause of death and the manner the death happened, and then tender her report. That report by the coroner, that report arrived in during the coroner's inquest, will then form the basis on who has been indicted and who has not been, and who may be charged to court and who may not be. So the coroner has a right to summon suspects, demand and review autopsy reports, review documents, hear witnesses, and then submit a comprehensive report of their findings. The magistrates that conduct these coroner's inquests are independent judicial officers. They do not have any linking to any of the parties involved or the police. They are 100% autonomous. And one of the major advantages of a case passing through a coroner's inquest is that it eradicates that suspicion of police corruption. I have heard and read all sorts of remarks. Some people tell me, Barrister Neze, WUNMI has not been declared a suspect because her mother is in the police force. Her mother is protecting her. And I'm just wondering, what rank is WUNMI's mother? Is she the commissioner of police? This case is a big, high-profile case. And so many eyes are on the case. It is not a small case that will just be swept under the carpet. Even the National Assembly themselves are in on the matter. They have summoned Naira Marley to come and account for the royalties of MOHBAD. So it's a big case. Even the Inspector General of Police will be scared, mindful, and tread carefully in this case. So it's not one that one random policewoman or policeman anywhere will just shield a suspect. It has passed that level. So what I'm trying to expatiate on is that if you are one of those people that had reservations about the police getting compromised, well, your fears have now been put to rest, because this case has now transcended far beyond the police's influence. It is a magistrate, like a judge, who is conducting this investigation on a much higher scale. They can call up any witness or suspect or anybody that even the police didn't call up or finger. And that is what a coroner's inquest is all about. MOHBAD's coroner's inquest was demanded by foremost human rights activist Femi Falana. His firm wrote to the chief coroner of the Lagos State High Court demanding an inquest into MOHBAD's mysterious death. That request was consented to, and here we are. So now that I believe that we are all aware of what a coroner's inquest is, let us proceed to discuss what's transpired in that courthouse on day one. First was the testimony from MOHBAD's mother, Abosede, holding her grandson in her arms for the most part. She proceeded to reveal that MOHBAD was her second child out of 3 children, and that she called him Promise. She said that she and MOHBAD's father separated a very long time ago, and that when they split, she was only allowed to live with her last child, who was only 2 years at the time, and MOHBAD's father took the remaining older children, MOHBAD and his older sibling. She revealed that even the last child that was left with her was sooner than later taken away from her, so all 3 of her children were made to stay with their father. She said that she reconnected with her son, Promise Ilerioluwa MOHBAD, in 2019, and that she wasn't particularly happy when she heard that he had chosen to become a musical artist. She said that she had always envisioned him to become a pastor. She said that she had heard, and her son had also told her, of the numerous assaults and beating that he had suffered in the hands of Naira Marley and Sam Larry. She said on this particular day, the beating was so bad that he got admitted in the hospital, and she was with him all through. She encouraged her son to leave the record label, but MOHBAD told her that he couldn't leave then, that he had to stay a minimum of 3 years with the label, as that was what the contract specified, and that if he left sooner, he was going to lose everything. She pointed out that Naira Marley was the only person in the world that her son had a problem with. At some point when she couldn't bear it anymore, she encouraged her son to report the whole issue to Fuji legend Pasuma for his intervention, which they did, but obviously nothing came out of that intervention. Relentless as she was, she further encouraged her son to report the matter to the Oba of Ikorodu. The Oba is like the highest traditional leader of MOHBAD's hometown, Ikorodu. She encouraged MOHBAD to take it up with the Oba of Ikorodu and let him know what he is suffering. But MOHBAD had doused her fears and told her that it was okay, that he was going to handle it. She said at some point, she had to team up with MOHBAD's father to go to Naira Marley's house. I believe that we all have seen the videos where she was kneeling down and discussing with Naira Marley, who was seated on the bed. She said that she had to go with Mohbad's father to plead with Naira Marley, to ask him, what has my son done to you? Please let it go. She said that despite that meeting and pleading, the assaults didn't stop. She said that she was with Mohbad at his house on Saturday, only a few hours before the show, and that her son had told her that he had a show to perform in and she wished him well, only for her to be called on Tuesday to be told that her son had died, and that he died after receiving injuries from a fight with his friend, Prime Boy. At this point, she began weeping profusely, saying that her son had begged her not to voice out, not to speak out, as she could be killed if she did that. Hence, she didn't take to any public forum to scream out. These were the testimonies from Mohbad's mother, Abosede, at the coroner's inquest that held a few days ago. Now, let us take a look at the next testimony, Mohbad's father. Mohbad's father began by testifying that he and his son lived together for 18 years and that when his son had come of age, he left the house to be on his own. He said that he joined Naira Marley's record label and lived with Naira Marley for some time, but that he did not know the place where they lived. He also consented that he was fully aware of the issues his son was having with Naira Marley, but that his son assured him that he could handle it. He said that he saw his son only 3 days before he passed, and that when his son died, he had to hastily bury him because the mortuary rejected his remains. He testified that in February of 2022, his son was arrested by NDLEA officials, that is the National Drugs Law Enforcement Agency, the agency in charge of regulating and eradicating drug trafficking and use in Nigeria, the NDLEA. And that when Mohbad was arrested by NDLEA officials in Naira Marley's house, he was forced to consume a substance, and after the consumption of it, he fell terribly ill. He voiced out that documents to Mohbad's landed properties was in custody of his mother-in-law, WUNMI's mother, and that his son often told him of his properties being held by WUNMI and members of her family. He claimed that his son's wife, WUNMI, often puts sleeping pills in his drink, in his food, when they lived with Naira Marley, and that when he sleeps, she would sneak out to fill in there with other signees. This was the testimony from Mohbad's father. Now, as I bring all this information to you guys, as you listen, please drop in the comment section what you think about the respective testimonies from Mohbad's mother, his father, and the other witness that I'm going to reveal now. Drop all your comments and what you think down in the comment section. The next person that was called to testify was Ayobami, aka Spending, Mohbad's personal DJ. That is the guy who procured the auxiliary nurse that treated Mohbad. He testified that on that fateful day, they had gone to a show in Ikorodu, and that on their way back, he saw Mohbad come down from his car to fight his friend, Prime Boy, and in the process, he got injured. Spending testified further that Mohbad began vomiting all the noodles that he had consumed earlier. He began jerking, having goosebumps, and sort of convulsing immediately after the nurse administered those injections to him at his residence in Lekki. He said that Mohbad was pronounced dead upon arrival at the hospital. He went further to testify of how he was severely beaten by Sam Larry in a club in June of this year, simply because of his association with Mohbad. And that was the testimony of Ayobami, aka spending. It's important that I note here that despite coroner's inquests and most court proceedings are public, meaning any member of the public can walk in and observe the trial, public attendance was barred in this particular case, and it was stated that that was done to limit the influx of people and control crowd. Further hearing on MOHBAD's coroner's inquest will continue on the 7th of November 2023, and maybe, just maybe, on this adjourned date, WUNMI, MOHBAD's wife, as well as Sam Larry, Naira Marley, and other parties concerned will be called to give their own account. My eyes will be on that, and I will bring everything that happens to your notice. So if you're yet to subscribe, don't forget to subscribe and turn on your bell notifications. So guys, that is all that happened on day one. Let us know what you think about these testimonies. Do you smell any rats? Do you finger any foul play? Do you believe that they are all speaking the truths? Do you think that MOHBAD's parents could have done more to save him from the assaults from Naira Marley and Sam Larry? Some people have fingered MOHBAD's fathers, constantly talking about properties and properties. Do you think that is strange? Do you think that he's having too much vested interests in MOHBAD's properties, and that might be influencing his relationship with MOHBAD's wife and all these many allegations he is constantly heaping on her? Or do you believe that he is within his rights to protect his son's properties? Let us know all you think about what has played out at this coroner's inquest down in the comment section. So guys, we have come to the end of today's video. Once again, if you're yet to subscribe, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, turn on your bell notifications, give this video a thumbs up if you've learned something, and drop all your feelings respectfully down in the comment section. It's me, your girl Barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye.